Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Mind, Body, and Heart Tower Therapy. I'm so happy to sit with you today. It's my last reading for July. Sorry for coming in so late. It's been a really crazy month for me. But you can take it also sort of like a check-in for how your July had been so far, where you at in July, and what you can expect for the rest of July. All right, so I pre-shuffled your cards, and this is a general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. Do not try to stretch it, to fit in, to find it as a... If it doesn't resonate, then it's just not your story, okay? Great, now that we had that covered, let's see, what do we have for Gemini? There we go. King of Wands. This is your current energy. All right. Gonna get a little bit more structure this time in your reading. Gonna assign the positions. Sorry if you hear now noises around of my neighbors. All right. So this is your challenge position. What is it that you find difficult at this point in time? What is your advice? Ooh, beautiful advice. Ace of Cups. Good advice all the time. Anytime. All right, so what is the outcome? Possible outcome? Where is this taking you more like? I got fear here. Now this is interesting. The 7 and 8 of Swords. Right, and bottom of the deck we have the 5 of Cups as your underlying energy. This is your theme, basically what we're working with. And I'm gonna, there you go, pull up clarifiers for these cards. So we have the 2 of Pentacles with the King of Wands. It is your current energy. Now what do we have for the 8 of Wands? It's your challenge position. Nine of Wands. All right, with Ace of Cups. What do we have? Sorry about that. We have for the Ace of Cups is your advice. The Emperor. Now that is interesting. These two together. And what do we have for the outcome? To clarify the 7 and the 8 of Swords. Given that it's you, Gemini, I'm not surprised this 8 and 7 of Swords came up like that. All right, so King of Pentacles to clarify your outcome, and the Hermit to go along with your theme with the 5 of Cups. All right, so let's see. It's interesting. It's an interesting reading. All right, so we have as your underlying energy, as your theme, the 5 of Cups with the Hermit. You see, the Hermit here, he's holding the star as his guide, being somewhere in a dark place on top of a mountain alone or something like this. And I think it's time for this star to bring some sort of light and hope to this poor guy who's just sitting here crying over his spilled cups. But there's a loss here. There's a loss of something that was dear to you. You had emotional investment in that thing that you had lost, or person, or situation, or whatever, even dream. And I think the hermit is supposed to kind of come into this energy and really illuminate the inner process, what's happening, what are my mechanisms when I'm trying to get over a loss. Am I actually trying to learn from it? Am I trying to truly find, to grieve, to give space for that sadness, or am I trying to bypass it, run away from it, push it away, to I don't know, work harder, party harder, do whatever to keep myself distracted, sort of way? How do we deal with loss? This is a very, very important topic that I don't think it's happening much nowadays. Whenever you say, "Oh, I broke up with someone," or I'm going through a sad moment of a sort," first thing that people suggest, "Oh, let's party, let's drink, let's keep the person distracted, let's oh my God, just don't feel that pain because it feels horrible." Well, we gotta feel that pain. This is the only way to get through it, not over it, not bypass it, not put it somewhere in a drawer where I don't want to deal with it, and then it will come back and it will hit me at the back of the head when I think that, like, I don't know, a few years later, when I finally slow down a little bit, when I find a breather, well, this is where it comes out. Or when we're just pushing ourselves that much that we just can't, yeah, we just can't continue. And then these are moments of depression when the body literally tells us, okay, you have to slow down, or illness of some sort. So it's really important to deal with loss. It's really important to allow grief, and it's really important to understand the lessons that we're learning about the self, about connections, and about love. How we love. What do we love? How can we keep loving after loss? How to love myself after losing something that I felt so attached of, that maybe I felt that part of me went along with these cups. How do I heal that? How do I feel about that? Is that okay? Is that not? Maybe that part of me wasn't mine to identify with. Maybe I just made it mine somehow. So yeah, it's really important topic, and these are the questions that show up in grief and can be answered actually in grief. That's why it's important to take some time alone and to really, really investigate. And this light, just bringing light into the corner, is already the star, which is a card of hope, right, in the major arcana. It's a card of healing and of hope. So whatever light is being brought here into these places of pain, it's a healing light. Okay, it's good. It's really good, Gemini. Go for it. So it's your current energy. You have the King of Wands with the Two of Pentacles. And you see this Two of Pentacles is somebody who's really juggling up his emotions here. He's facing us, so behind him you have the sea, and the sea, like the waters are really, really wavery and stormy. And there's this, the ships actually symbolize that we have support, that we're supported in this journey. Even if it's shaky, we're having help. But see, like, you can't tell if these ships are gonna make it or not because the waves are so shaky. And he's juggling that in the back of his background. This is his emotional state, and he's keeping himself busy. Talking about grief, right? He's keeping himself busy and distracted with this whole Two Pentacles that he's juggling with them forever and ever and ever. And it may have a good reason, maybe you actually really have to figure out some very practical solutions in your life. And you kind of need to keep your emotions at bay and at a distance somewhere in the background because you need to be functional. And it's absolutely normal that we sometimes go through this. But it's vital to find a little bit of that time to really feel the grief as well and the emotions. Maybe find counseling, maybe find help. Maybe if you have someone in your life that is like some sort of an embodiment of this King of Wands, somebody who's like mature and very confident and very, like, present. Is like, he's the king of the wands, which is the spiritual suit, right? So he's somebody who's like a spiritual leader of some sort, or figure, teacher, whatever. Maybe a monk, or maybe a good psychologist or a good counselor, that you feel like they're really learning from their experience. King of wands, it has to do with experience, not just from the books. It feels like you can get help from this person. There's the ships behind you, or this person is can literally be an aspect of yourself. You can become this person every once in a while, and you've been there. You know the energy is familiar to you. Allow this more part, like fatherly, spiritual part of you, to nurture the part of you that feels the loss. Hold space. And the King of Wands is taking risks. He's a risk taker. He's like, if he is falling in love, he's saying what he feels for you. He communicates. He's not afraid of rejection, and he's not afraid of failure, because he knows he doesn't take that personally. His worth does not stay in that. So there can be no rejection, really. Only when I reject myself. This is what the King of Wands know, and you know that as well. The question is, yeah, the point is to literally allow these two aspects of yourself to work together. I hope that makes sense. All right, so you have as your challenge position the 8 and the 9 of Wands, and it's fascinating. See, you have the 8 and 9, it's one right after another. So it's the 8 is like, the 8 of Wands is about rapid movement, incredibly rapid movement, when you have already the intention and things started just happening fast, fast, fast in the direction that you're supposed to be moving. And maybe things are moving a little bit too fast in your life. That's why you don't have time for the grief. That's why you don't have time to feel your emotions, and you're tired as fuck. You're really, really tired. And it's really, really, really hard for you right now to keep up with your emotions, because there's so much to do, and there's excitement out there as well. It's not just like me running away, but it's also like the 9 of Wands as an archetype is like the wounded warrior, right? And it's somebody who's wise, it's somebody who's learned from their lessons, but they're also very, very tired, and they end up to be a little bit of a know-it-all, been there, done that, I know exactly how to react to this, not really open for new anymore. Many times, yeah, you may know, it's all right, but the point is it always going to be like this, or am I going to that? Yeah, we lose attention, we lose commitment of actually being present, because we are too tired, because we think we know, because we already have come up from our defense mechanism. See, this guy's super defense here, super fenced up. So yeah, I think it's important to see things for what they are. You are tired, and there's a lot of movement. And actually, the 8 has to do also with like downloads, like really getting information from your higher self here. You see these ones like going down and hitting the towards the earth. It's coming from a higher aspect of yourself, and it's moving fast. And yes, it's hard to catch up, and it's hard to allow the space for this. But I think you're being led to do that, and maybe this is why it feels so challenging and tiring. And I think, yes, you are led to do that, because there you go, you have the Ace of Cups as your advice, and the Emperor. And the Ace of Cups, of course, is like it's all about the new love, it's about the freshness, it's about sharing emotions. See how like this cup is full and it's overflowing out there, and it's just like this all this water goes back into the sea, and you have all like this white dove here with the coming in with purity. This is like pure love. It is not necessarily a love that comes from craving. This is a love that comes from the heart, that really from the heart, and where I'm not afraid of rejection, because love can never be rejected. Love is a way of being. Love is energy. We are love. Your this is your advice to come back to that place of unconditional love. Whenever you felt unconditional love in your life, whether it was from your parents, whether it was from a sibling, whether it was from a stranger on the street, or I don't know, any experience you may have had with unconditional love, where you literally felt loved and you felt that warmth in your heart and you felt the love back, and you knew that no matter what happens, that love was always going to be there. That's where you need to go. That's what you need to focus on right now. And when I say focus, I mean really focus, because the emperor, ooh la la, the emperor is like structure. The emperor is very very responsible, and somebody who is very like a figure of authority. Can he literally be tyrannic if he's going a little bit out of balance? But he knows discipline, and he knows structure. He knows what are the needs of an entire empire, and he's not ruling through just imposing, because that's tyranny, right? Like when he's a balance, when he's in his best self, the emperor rules the way he rules, and he keeps his position by offering what is needed, by nurturing his people as well as keep things moving and having, I don't know, discipline and everything. So it's important, I think, actually, what's the message that comes through here is that it's really really important that you allow structure to like create a structure for this Ace of Cups in your life. It's like creating a new neural link, like a new connection. You're nurturing it, and you need to do it through discipline. This is how we are conditioning and deconditioning ourselves, and allowing ourselves to feel more of what's really happening beyond those shields that we are like deconditioning of, beyond that, those patterns and those defense mechanisms that just show up and running programs, things that I identified with that weren't mine. See, like what I was saying with this guy, maybe I'm allowing myself to identify with parts of me that I'm not supposed to be identified with, because they were never mine. That was never my fault. It was never my we kind of take upon ourselves when we're very very young things from around us. Our parents' sadness, we're taking upon us. Our parents I don't know, guilt or neglect or stress, we're taking it upon us. We always come up with conclusion. If the parents fight too much, oh, it's somehow my fault. If if I get neglected, it means somehow that I'm not worthy of love and attention. If I have parents that like tell me all the time, okay, or not just parents, like teachers in school, or the way like we internalize the dumbest ideas about ourselves, and we're going into that right there. We're getting into that right there, and we take these parts of this thoughts that we, these personas that we are learned, these are from the mind, these are learned behaviors, these are learned characters. I learned how to deceive myself in order not to feel the pain. I know how to keep myself trapped in a corner of my mind, so I don't dive in this one. I've learned this stuff. It comes in time, it comes through experience, and it comes through pain. It's defense mechanisms that show up from the brain trying to keep the whole thing together. You know? But the thing is that that brain can run in errors. If we want there's a book called Hardwiring Happiness. It's actually a really, really good book, and I think it's a very good advice for you right now, given this, the Emperor and the Ace of Cups. I want to go back to this in this context, because if we make it like a practice, to whether it's mindfulness, whether it's meditation, whether it's loving kindness practice, metta, gratefulness practice, and not sharing circles, unless I give space from a structured way with that I really commit to, for me to connect to this place of unconditional love within myself, that it is there, we all have it, we just need to find it beyond all these shields and layers and defense mechanisms that we put, because we actually believe that we are protecting this part, but we are not, we're isolating it. That's what we think when we're actually, that's what the brain does, that's what the brain thinks. The question is like how to not identify with the things that gotta let go. These archetypes, they are not me. They are just behaviors, patterns. So identify the pattern. This is what's taking you. You having the structure and having more access to your own inner source of love. Well, these guys, you start seeing them. They start showing up. Actually, when I see the Seven of Swords, it's like, okay, fine. I'm start seeing where the pattern shows up and is trying to deceive me. I'm start seeing how my brain is trying to protect me by feeding me a story, feeding me that I need to hide, feeding me that I can't. Because it still believes that it's protecting me, but it's not. At this point it doesn't anymore. And the fact that you see it because you have a structured practice of connecting to the loving part of yourself, well, you start seeing it and you are grounded. The King of Pentacles is a very grounded individual, is an earth, slow energy, somebody who's like abundant and also disciplined. So you are really, really grounded when you look at these guys and you start letting them go and realizing that this is not me. I am not a victim. I do not need to deceive myself. I do not need to believe that I am, or to allow myself to believe this. Maybe I allow myself to believe this, to identify with this, because it is what kept me safe. In a way, to survive with myself, to justify why what happened to me. Of course, it's the life feedback, and we take upon ourselves what's not ours, other people's emotions and shit. But now you go the whole groundedness of the King of Pentacles to allow you, to support you to see this stuff. Okay, this sounds a little bit like I'm trying to convert someone to some sort of a religion or practice. No, I do not. Find what works for you. You are the expert in yourself, and you know what are the things that you can respond to. Or just try. See, the King of Wands is the one that's taking a lot of risks. He's not afraid of risk. Try things for yourself. Have the experience. Try meditation, join some yoga classes, things that really allow yourself to connect to that place of love. That's all. Become a volunteer for, I don't know, for refugee camp. Work with children. Things like this, whatever takes you there. The point is that you gotta make a practice out of it. You gotta do it with discipline, because that's what's gonna help you see what's standing in your brain. How is your brain sabotaging you? By having the discipline to really give yourself love here, to really be nurturing and loving and kind. If we treat these parts of us with no anything else but love and kindness, well, that's why they need to hide, because I don't like them, because I'm pushing them away. Well, then my brain is gonna keep trying to hide them from me, right? I don't want to feel the pain. My brain is trying to allow me to keep me safe, that I can't feel that pain. It doesn't know that it's creating even more pain on the long run, but that's what the brain does. Well, you're grounded. You have the King of Pentacles, so yeah. Love. Love is the answer. All right, my dear Gemini, I hope that makes sense to you. It's a little bit of a messy reading, in terms of like the way I read it, not the energy. The energy is fine. You're fine, don't worry. And have patience. You gotta feed yourself that love right now to heal these wounds and to relax the mind so it doesn't need to work too much hard to protect you. Just feel the loss, and it's gone. We cry, we stop crying, it hurts for a few days, and it's okay. All right. Hope that makes sense. If it did resonate, if it makes sense to you, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna do the videos for August really soon, so stay tuned. Sending you all the love. See you soon.